Hey, welcome back to another video and welcome into my home. Our remodel job is basically 98% complete. There's a few little trivial things left to do, but this would be, I don't know what you'd call this room. Behind the camera today is Sean, of course, the Blue Tech Mobile Auto Detailing. You can check out his channel also on YouTube. Today's subject matter is we're going to announce a horror story. But what would you call this room? I don't know, family room? Got the big screen TV there, whatever. Anyhow, part of our remodel job. So the horror story, Sean came up with this idea as like, hey, Darren, why don't you share with us some of your horror stories since we have Halloween coming up, correct, Sean? So I'm going to release this approximately 2 weeks in advance of Halloween, which is a pretty big holiday here in the US of A. Other countries, I know it's different. So what we decided is we want to hear what your horror stories are. And when Sean presented the idea to me, I said, well, Sean, how do you want to refine this? Do you want me to do a horror story based on a customer experience, based on a moment that cost me money? So what I thought I would do, and he said, just whatever you consider a horror story, Darren, run with that. So I'm going to pick one of each. One that cost me money, one that was just horror, and it wasn't really horrific. It was just horror in the form of irony, because I don't think I've shared this story on my videos. If I have, it was years ago. So first story is when I had employees. One of my employees is working on a Lexus SC, which is the two-door coupe, SC 430. Back in the day, it was the hot, I remember when that car came out, it was like drop dead gorgeous. It was before they had the convertible. In fact, it might have been called something else. It was the long, anyhow, doesn't matter. It was a Lexus, expensive car, sports car. So my employee, my dutiful, diligent, or I should say less than diligent employee, and this goes out to you, Kevin L. I'm just going to keep it at that. Kevin, if you happen to be watching this video, I still remember this moment because it's a moment where it's like, Kevin, dude, you could have felt what's happening. Why didn't you pull back? So what he did is he was cleaning as part of one of our maintenance accounts. He was cleaning the front windshield of this Lexus. He took a Scotch-Brite pad, an abrasive green one, which is weird. It's synthetic materials. So you can take a steel wool pad and use it on glass and it will not scratch. But why is it I can take a synthetic Scotch-Brite pad and use it on glass and it will destroy the glass, as in scratch the crap out of it? And you can actually feel it biting into the glass, which is part of the disturbing part, which is, Kevin, like, dude, you can feel it biting into the glass. So, of course, my employee did not tell me in advance. I had to wait for the next day where I got a phone call from a very angry customer that says, hey, Darren, we got a problem. Oh, okay, what's the problem? My front windshield is destroyed. There are scratches all over it. And I thought, oh my gosh, I don't even know how that's possible. How would myself or one of my employees, and I knew it was one of my employees because I knew who the customer was. I knew who was servicing the account. And here he is on the phone telling me his front windshield is destroyed. It's like, oh my gosh. So I say, okay, I accept it's destroyed. We take full responsibility for it. And this actually is a two-parter because my customer, I don't know really his reasoning behind this. Maybe he just doesn't trust, so there wasn't enough trust, or maybe he was trying to work the system, because I told him, I said, okay, Johnny, customer, I will take care of it. Do nothing. Don't race to the dealership, because what the dealership's going to do is they're going to outsource it to an independent company in most cases, and then they're going to upcharge it, and it's going to cost me an arm and a leg. I will take care of it to your 100% satisfaction, but let me handle it. He didn't. He raced to the dealership. I got a bill for $750. It's like, damn. That was probably close to 20 years ago. Back to the employee. It's like, dude, why did you not tell me in advance? I know you knew what you were doing, as in when you were done, you knew the windshield was scratched up beyond recognition. What's called FUBAR. Effed up beyond recognition. Oh, dude, because he always referred to me as dude, even though I'm his boss. Dude, because we started out as friends first. Dude, oh, sorry, man. There was tons of bugs on it, and I was trying to figure out a new technique, and so I busted out one of those green pads, and I started going to town on it. Man, I'm so sorry, dude. I'm so sorry. It's like, Kevin, like you've got to tell me this stuff in advance. So I can be prepared, not so I can wiggle out of it. It's just that I don't want to be like blindsided by an angry customer on the phone. So that's my one horror story. I took care of it, continued to do business with the guy, actually enhanced my level of trust with him because I happily pay the bill, even though I wasn't happy about it, because I told the customers like, dude, I'll take care of it. But he raced off to the dealership, whatever, different video, different time. Second horror story. A customer, because I'm so big on communication, this is more about irony rather than a true horror story. So I'm on the phone with a potential customer. She inherited a car by default because her father died. She wanted to sell the car. One of the questions that I do as part of the pre-interviewing process when I have a potential customer on the phone is I will ask them a series of questions. One of those is, why are you choosing to get your car detailed? Meaning, simply, it's generally A, they want to sell it and they want to increase the resale value, or B, they want to keep it because it's filthy or it's just dirty and it's due for a detail. So I clarify that, because what I then go into, for example, in this case, the person just wanted to sell it. They wanted to add some what's called curb appeal back into it with a detail. So my talk track with that is this. It's like, okay, I get it. You want to spruce it up, but you don't want to break the bank. So how do we go about this and costing you the least amount of money, but getting you the most amount of results for resale value? So I assessed that at the beginning. So I told her, or I asked her, I said, okay, so what do you want done? She goes, well, I'm just going to tell you the inside's pretty dirty, but I really just want the inside done. And when anyone ever says that, my radar suddenly goes up, because very few times does anyone just want the interior done. In my head, if all they're concerned with is detailing the inside, they still are going to want the outside washed. But they won't tell you that. They'll just say, no, I just want the interior detailed. So I knew enough through experience to dig in. Okay, tell me about the inside. You said it's pretty dirty. Is he a smoker? Is there pet hair? Is there any big major spills? Yes, yes, and yes. It's like, okay, that's pretty dirty. Okay, just to clarify, when you say you just want the inside done, you literally mean just the inside detailed, correct? Yes, that is correct. Okay, just to clarify, that means like you don't even want me to wash the exterior, nothing. You don't want me touching the exterior. See, this is me knowing through experience that I got to dig in and really be very, very clear with people, because people will assume certain things and I don't want an unhappy customer. So I dug in further and further. And very quickly, I can tell that she was starting to get annoyed because she's not used to people asking her such detailed questions, no pun intended. But there I am, because I'm trying to cover my ass, which really I'm not trying to cover my ass. What I'm trying to do is make sure I have a happy customer when I'm done doing the job. So I'm digging in, and I can tell in her tonality of her voice that she's starting to get annoyed. But at this point, I don't care, because I don't want to be caught with my shorts down. So I continue to ask her questions and to clarify. Okay, so just to clarify, I'm going to charge you $250 to just detail the inside, and I'm not going to touch the exterior at all, correct? And she actually chuckled and laughed, or whatever you want to call it. And I said, what's so funny? She goes, I can't believe how many questions you're asking me. I just want the darn car detail. It's like, okay, I just want to be clear. So I set an appointment with her. I went out, did the job, and literally just detailed the inside. It was as bad as she said. She did not misrepresent in that moment. But when I called her out for inspection and to get paid, she looks at it and goes, wow, that inside really looks great. And she goes, but aren't you going to wash it? I'm like, wow, you're kidding, right? Okay, this is why I was so specific on the phone. This is why I asked you so many questions on the phone, is because of this very moment. She goes, what, you're kidding me, right? You're not going to wash my car? I said, no. I said, because just washing your car is not a 20-minute moment, especially how dirty this car is. That's going to be 45 minutes worth of my work to wash this to make it acceptable for you. I said, and by the way, are you going to come to my house and work for free for 45 minutes? I literally said this to her, because at this point I'm like in complete disbelief, because I dug in so deeply in asking her those probing questions to pull that information out of her, which is why I continually stress to you guys how important communication is. And you need to understand that in large parts, your customers really are that ignorant. I'm just going to call it that. They just don't know. They know what clean looks like. They know what clean looks like to them, but they don't live your world as a detailer. So they often will not know the questions to ask of you as a professional, just as they won't know the information that you need as a professional to fully assess the situation. That's why you need the communication skill set to get that out of them. So that's the irony of the moment. It's like, wow, lady, this is exactly what I was trying to avoid, and here we are. And not only did you get annoyed by my in-depth probing, but you actually laughed in a mocking sort of tone with me of like, wow, dude, are you kidding me? Will you cut it with the questions? Just come and detail my damn car. And here we are having this moment, the very thing I was trying to avoid. So those are my 2 horror stories. So I will let you guys decide what represents a horror story for you in your world. Whether you're a novice, it could be your own family member's car. It could be your own car. Like for example, I'll just add this little sidebar. I had a customer, we detailed his car on a regular basis, and he told me when he used to do it himself, he had a truck, he had to step up on the ledge or the threshold plate to clean the entire front windshield, and he forgot he had a belt buckle on that was metal and scratched the crap out of his A-pillar. And after he got down off his truck, he's standing back and admiring his glorious work, and suddenly he's going, holy hole in a donut, Batman. I just scratched the crap out of my A-pillar with my belt buckle. So anything goes. We just want to hear your horror stories. Was there going to be something attached to that, Sean? Like in this moment? It's just horror stories in this moment, right? No giveaways. We're going to do giveaways later. Okay, so Halloween horror stories, whether it costs you money, massively inconvenient, a big rude awakening, you decide. We want to hear them. Leave those comments below. And right now, if you liked what you heard today and you learned something, give it a thumbs up. If you don't have your own horror story, just tell me if you learned something along the way. How about that? Leave a comment. For those that come in after the fact and view it, by all means, subscribe to the channel. Always check the links below. There's always going to be links to my website. With that said, we will see you on the very next video.